This video has two spectacular things in it. This is one of the biggest insects I've ever filmed, a stick insect taking flight. The other is this, the back end of a butterfly caterpillar ballistically ejecting frass, aka insect poop. I'll show you what this looks like and how it works in gloriously detailed slow motion footage. So normally I spend my time filming and studying insects local to here in North Carolina. But what those two things have in common is they're both exotic, lab-reared specimens. To film them, I worked behind the scenes here at the museum and in a lab at Middlebury College in Vermont. Let's start here at the museum. The stick insects are exhibit animals kept and bred behind the scenes here for showcasing in our arthropod zoo. This species, sometimes called the spiny leaf insect or a giant prickly stick insect, is native to Australia but is kept in captivity all across the world. Females of this species, like you see here, are larger and flightless. And here you see one with a male clinging to her back for a size comparison. Males are slender with long wings and fewer spines on their body. To get shots of the males in flight, they needed a little encouragement and direction once they were on the filming set. Any stick insect's first response to an unfamiliar touch, like what I'm doing with this paintbrush, is to stay in place and gently wiggle like it's a piece of vegetation moving in the wind. For these males, when that move didn't fake me out and they kept getting touched with the brush, they eventually would leap into a short flight off the platform and I'd had my shot. Even these big insects flap their wings pretty rapidly, so the shots you're about to see I captured at 1500 frames per second. So here they are. This is the first time I've captured this order of insects in flight. This is the second of 3 clips I captured, and I think the main thing to get out of all of this is just a sense of awe and wonder for what these insects are. So I'm going to get my narration out of the way and we can just watch this footage together. Okay, now let's switch to another insect. This is the adult stage of the squinting bush brown butterfly. It's a nymphalid that's native to the eastern part of Africa, but it's also found in labs all across the world as it's studied as a model system for all sorts of biological questions. One of the reasons it works well in labs is because it has a short generation time and can be raised on easily grown grasses. In the lab where I filmed these in Vermont, they were raising them like this on lab-grown corn plants. So, as caterpillars, they're constantly eating, and if you're eating a lot, you're also going to be producing a lot of waste. Waste for these and most other caterpillars comes out as a solid pellet referred to as frass. These frass pellets can be quite big for some caterpillars, littering the forest floor around feeding spots. With the caterpillars I filmed, instead of just dropping the frass pellets right from where they feed, they forcefully fire and fling the frass away from themselves. Why exactly these ones do it is unknown, but for others, they fire their frass to avoid amassing chemical cues that predators could hone in on, and possibly also for hygienic purposes to avoid attracting disease. How they do it is by building up pressure as they expel the frass pellet. You can see that happening in this footage as the back of the caterpillar inflates once the pellet is in firing position. Comb-like structures work as a latch holding the pressure in. When they release, these combs fling against the frass pellet, flipping it away and making it rotate end over end as it goes. These pellets are traveling at just under 1 meter per second. I didn't get to measure how far they flew, but in other species they can go up to 80 centimeters and around 40 body lengths away, which is pretty impressive. Okay, I have one extra thing to show you about flying caterpillar frass, but this doesn't have to do with a moth or a butterfly. It's about a beetle. This is a warty leaf beetle. It's one of hundreds of species in this group, and most of them as adults are visually mimicking pellets of caterpillar frass. On vegetation, they're slow moving and convincing, but the mimicry gets even better when they're disturbed because they tuck in all their appendages and become the fully rounded shape of an actual fecal pellet. Of course, if things get really bad for these beetles, they can drop the mimicry act and use their wings to take off and fly away. So it's likely during random parts of the day in the forest, there are both actual frass pellets and frass pellet-like beetles flying around through the air at the same time. Okay, that's all the flying stick insects and flying frass footage I have for now. Thanks for watching.